streaming virtual method, so we are streaming on the city's YouTube channel, and following all of the Governor Lamont's order 7B regarding streaming and making notice of this in advance to the public. So we will begin our meeting with a call to order on Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our first item is to approve the minutes from our June 1st meeting. Have a motion for that? So moved. Made by Ed McCreary, seconded by Bill Dyer. All in favor? Aye. The motion passes. Hey, do we have audio this month? We do. I talked to our tech department there, and where? He has departed. He has confirmed that we have audio. Are you sure? I am sure. He has double checked it. All right. So apologies if you were watching this. We have the fans out there watching the conservation meetings. You know, our last month's meeting had no audio during our entire streaming. No, I wasn't disappointed. But in any regard, he blames the fact that nobody called in. I'm not blamed. It was a technical glitch. I'm surprised nobody called in. Well, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Trail Committee report. Actually, the big news is we had a meeting this morning with Mayor Loretti, and we presented several alternatives, and we all came to a conclusion that we should have a good-sized barn in the order of 18 by 24. We had laid it out in the front of in the green space between the fence and Shelter Ave near the dog park. He thought that that area was well used and looked nice the way it was. He suggested we put it in the area to the right of the existing barn, just below the dog park, where there's now a lot of mulch in there. And so Terry was there from Trails, and of course Jim was there, as were you. And so we all basically said that seems like a very good solution. He said he'd really like us to move out to get it done by the end of the year, which we're obviously going to have to go out for bids on the barn itself. So that's going to be aggressive. After he left, and maybe after you left, Dave from Parks and Rec came in. So we talked to him and said, you know, in terms of the preparing the ground for the foundation.
Join the meeting.
Is this something you should do, or is this something that Highways and Bridges? Well, I think we should do it. Talk to Ron. So I went over to the community center and ran into him in the parking lot, showed him the drawings that Jim had made up 10 years ago, and he said, I'll, put in some stakes as to where you think it should be, and, give me an idea what trees have to come down. I'll have a tree company come in and get a price for doing that. Okay. So we're moving out. Just a point. I heard somebody join the meeting. Was that you, Sherry?
Bill, question, is this to go out to bid for the prefab of barn structures or for one for contractors to build?
Prefab, but it'll have to be built in sections. It won't come off the truck. It'll be too big. The walls will be constructed and it's just assembled on site. Right.
So it would be on the pressure-treated skidders of the base board?
No, made on a cement.
Oh, it's not meant to have
Yeah,
flat?
concrete bag.
Yeah, well, that was foundation. Yeah, just
Do a cross wall and floor concrete. Yeah, we did look at the area, had some drainage concerns with where the water sheets off of the actual dog park fence area. There is a drainage swale further to the west and north that drains towards Route 108. There might have to be some interaction with the state of Connecticut DOT regarding that, but I think that's all solvable. After I talk with Bill, we'll do a little plan and we'll send it out to the commissioners and they can comment. want to move on to the Eagle Scout?
Sure, let's move on to the Eagle Scouts. We have actually got 5 different potential Eagle Scout projects underway.
Wow.
From, just initial concept all the way to getting ready to do them. And we have 2 here that are anxious to move ahead with their projects. And so I'd like them to present their projects and, assuming we approve them or modify them, and then they've got to raise the money, they've got to get their gang together to do the project, but they want to get done, in the early fall.
Sure. All right, who do you want to take first?
Mark, why don't you?
Mark, because it's a virtual meeting, just state your name and your address so that it's picked up on the microphone for this.
My name is Mark Capita, and I live at 6 Edgewood Avenue here in Shelton. So my project concerns the Pagasa Trail in Shelton. And I do have 2 physical copies of the proposal if you'd like me to hand those out to you guys.
Bill Meyer with the trail, he'll probably coordinate with you, so why don't you, we can take those.
Did you get it over there?
Oh, yeah, we've been in this project very closely, and Corey actually knows it.
Okay.
Great.
So this project, there's a map in the back. The section of this trail concerns is the section of the Pagasa Trail between Wellington Court and Independence Drive, which is very swampy and full of wetlands. So the goal of this project is to eliminate some of the wetlands there and to make it much easier to traverse by rerouting a small, about 150-foot section of it. This reroute will cross a small stream that moves through the entire area. And, so there's a bridge upstream that already crosses the stream. So instead of building a new bridge across the stream on the reroute, I figured we could move the existing bridge down there. And as for the other areas, the area in front of that stream is a bit marshy, but it is better than the current trail. So all it really needs is just a few bog walks there. A few small trees will have to be removed from the area and be laid down with straws. And in front of one of the bridges, there is a small mudslide, so I can coordinate bog walks there.
The location you've coordinated with the trails group, that it's an acceptable improvement to the trails network. You are, I like that you're reutilizing existing bridges and conservation way. Have you talked to anybody at wetlands, given the proximity to the water course? So you probably will have to get that reviewed. The office is staffed with John Cook, and Bill can give you his information on how to contact him. Certain things he can approve administratively as the enforcement officer. Certain things, if they rise to a certain level, have to be approved by the full commission. This may be small enough that it could be approved administratively, but he should review that as well. I believe, yes, John Cook is on this thing. Does anybody have any other questions about the, do you need any extra materials beyond that which you're reutilizing?
Yes, I needed wood for the bog walks, which I will be raising the funds for and purchasing. And I need screws and wood chips, which Dyer said that the trail committee could provide some.
We do have a budget that can assist in that, and sometimes local lumber supply stores have reduced costs for scouting projects.
Reduced to zero. All wood will be pressure treated, and the extras are the size more. Yeah.
coordination of labor and the team resources is something that we felt would be. Anybody have any further questions on Mark's proposal?
Good luck with that, Mark.
Yeah.
Have fun.
So you will continue to coordinate with Phil Dyer, because he's involved with the Trails Committee as to, how that would integrate with the existing Trails Network, and, again, John Cook in the Inland Wetlands Department would be the one to talk to regarding inland wetlands approval.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mark.
Good one.
And next, who do we have, Bill?
Corey, state your name and.
Hello, my name is Corey Barber. I live at 224 Meadow Street in Shelton, Connecticut. My project is also on the Pegasi Trail. It is on the Monroe side. It is actually crossing the border of Shelton and Monroe on Round Hill Brook. It's currently very hazardous to cross there, and Ms. Gallagher has told me that she has gone out there to scrub the rocks so they are not slippery. And I have crossed them when they are slippery. It is not fun. So I'm going to be building a bridge right where the existing trail is. The bridge is going to be 24 feet long, and we are going to be spanning the bridge with just 20 footers. Because I talked to Monroe, and that's what their engineer suggested. So I am going with what he suggested. We are going to be anchoring it down with concrete slabs with steepers on top, and forget what screws are called that goes to this, something else, goes up through the concrete into the wood, then we're gonna screw the bridge into the wood. I forget what they're called.
Either a lag bolt or a parabolt anchor?
What was the last part, second one?
Parabolt anchor?
Yeah, pretty sure that's what it is. So we're gonna be using that to make sure it's, supported, and, we're also going to be, pretty sure we are still chaining the bridge to the tree that is next to it, so if it ever, decides to flow downstream, it won't flow that far, because I know that there have been issues in the past where bridges have been swept downstream, and you guys have had to coordinate work parties to carry them back up.
Right.
So, what else? Let me go through my wonderful booklet and see if I have everything on it.
How wide will the bridge be?
It's going to be 4 feet wide.
And what was the length again? Did you say
24 feet long, but over the water is gonna be a 20-footer. And then there's gonna be an extra part, so it's easier to get off of the bridge, so it's not just a drop off. So it goes to like a smoother exit. And,
Corey, did you do a sketch of what you're planning here?
yes, I do. I have that right in front of me if you want me to.
Yeah, let's take a look at the sketch.
I have 2 copies.
That's all right, yeah. Great. So it's gonna have a railing on it as well, right?
Yeah, because it is, over 50, it's over 5 feet tall. So, according to OSHA standards, you have to have a, railing, and it has to have at least 4 feet, 4 inches in between each of the railing posts.
Good, so you noodled this a little bit, knowing what the, criteria is.
Well, I changed the original design with my talks with, the engineer in Monroe.
Okay,
So, he's helped me redesign the bridge a little bit
right.
to what it is now.
I think you, because it's the city of Shelton Bridge, I think you need to, review this with the building department.
All right.
And just,
It's in both Shelton and Monroe.
Okay. So then it's good to review with Shelton as well, of course.
They have reviewed this with John Cook, and he has written a letter on it.
So the structure itself is Jim's alluding to because of its nature with, having building code issues and
Yeah.
such, it's something that our city engineer should.
I think it'd be a painless visit
have any, challenges in getting the material to the location with the truck sitting on a trail? These are pretty big pieces.
It's going to be walked in. There is, a campsite that you can actually walk in, and it's not terribly steep. But
Is that the Web Mountain?
yeah, it's in One Mountain, and I will talk to the park ranger about reserving that one for when the work parties are. And so we can use that as a staging area, eat food there if we need to. Stuff like that.
How about the fundraiser, or is that the way?
I'm doing a cannon bottle drive, and I'm actually working on sorting out the cans later on today. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, and I have also gotten donations from Lowe's. I have been in touch with them. So,
Great.
yeah.
All right, so any further coordination, you can work with, Bill Dyer, you have been,
Actually,
anybody that's here? Oh, okay, all right. Teresa, and she has contacts here at City Hall with the engineer's office, so you can get those, put her on our website as well.
we can take some fees.
Do we need a motion to approve the two projects or not?
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you, Roy.
Very good job.
Thank you, guys.
Look forward to new Eagle Scouts.
Yeah.
Take some snap peas there, right from Bill's garden, I gotta tell you, they are delicious.
Being an Eagle Scout will be on your resume for the rest of your life, guys. It's a great scar on your resume.
Anything further from the Trails Committee, Bill?
The bags here for the fees. No, I think we're all set.
Okay.
We're gonna start work parties again on the 11th of July.
Oh, okay. Coordinated work parties, obviously you guys have been working out there in,
Right.
intermittent business.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the kind of work parties where you're letting the public know to come in and stuff?
Yeah. Or at least we'll send it out to our.
The core group of volunteers.
Right. We gotta do the, well, actually, why aren't we doing it anymore? But we don't have so many we ever, what we're missing this year, of course, is all the high school kids getting their 10 hours.
Right.
That didn't happen, so we used to have a lot of.
Is that gonna still be a requirement of the Board of Education?
I heard it's not.
It's not? Yeah, that's unfortunate.
How could they?
Well, not this year, but maybe next.
It was a good resource for us to utilize.
Certainly was.
Okay. Then, moving on to a review of any planning and zoning or inland wetlands applications. We keep them on here as old applications to follow up on. I don't think there's anything further on the, town center Shelton Ridge. Nichols Place, we wrote a letter last month, regarding this to planning and zoning. I did get, an email from, the attorney, for the development. One of our letters referenced several lots to preserve the stone wall, and we had the, lot numbers incorrect. Minor change with that. And then also with where the public access, wanted to be, went between two lots, it would then interrupt that stone wall that we were seeking to conserve. And so they were wondering if that, pedestrian access easement could be provided through, two lots that were to the south. I think it was like 10 or 11. And also, they want to put a conservation easement on the rear of that for about 10 feet buffer, so that future homeowners would not cut the trees down within the subdivision and, the adjacent homeowners would.
Can I get a copy of that letter?
Sure, I can email it to you.
Do we want to authorize Teresa to respond and just say, fine?
Yeah, I think they were innocuous items to me. They accomplished what we're trying to still accomplish. It was just, we misread the drawings that we had in terms of the lot numbers for preservation of the stone wall, which they wanted to achieve as well, and the access easement would be better served from, a different lot number.
Okay, I make a motion to authorize the conservation agent to draft an appropriate reply letter authorizing clarifications.
Made by Ed McCreary, seconded by Bill Dyer. Any discussion? All in favor?
Natural resources, right?
Yeah, I'll let you know. Any other old, last month we had talked about the Shelton Canal locks, and, sadly there was some activity down on Canal Street with, the building that was fire, personally. I don't know if that has any impact on the canal lot project that we talked about.
You know, not directly, it was going to be part of the overall scheme of the downtown Canal Street, redevelopment, so I don't know, you know, what will happen next, but that, wouldn't impact the canal lot project itself. And we did get back one, response so far that I've received, from an engineering firm that specializes in canal locks, and as we anticipated, they said, look, our bailiwick is canal locks, your project is much bigger than that, so we would want to partner with local engineers, who would not only know your local agencies better, but probably handle more typical day-to-day engineering work, which is what we envisioned. It would probably be a combination of traditional engineering work and company that had experience in canals.
So some of the simpler items, such as the retaining wall or foundation.
Well, I mean, I would call it simpler work, and just call it different various areas of expertise.
And then moving on, any communications? Oh, sorry, no new applications. I didn't have any to put on the agenda. This is a special meeting, so can't amend it now anyway. Any communications to receive or review? No. I had on here quality of life. We're not going to need to go into an executive session, but I just wanted to remind us that there was an appraisal for a property that for a potential acquisition.
Oh, apparently.
Yeah. Has that occurred?
The appraisal was done, yeah.
Okay. All right. I just didn't want to if there was something needed to be done, that we had to take action or anything.
No.
Okay. And then regarding, last month we had the, commented to planning and zoning on the 824 referral that came from the mayor's office of planning and zoning. I just wanted to clarify that that's a separate item from any city charter requirement that the planning and that the Board of Aldermen, if they're disposing of a property that's considered significant, that they have to request for comment from conservation and the Parks and Rec Commission. That's a separate concept from the 824 referral, which is a traditional statute district. I don't think we have anything else on our agenda. So, our next meeting will be August 5th, so having no further items, we stand adjourned.